Hi, it's Cindy from Part-Time Permies, and it's spring in Michigan. This morning it was 18 degrees, 19 degrees. It's now in the mid-40s, so it's actually feeling pretty nice with the sun out. Today we received more wild ramps from our foraging partner, Nabe. So you can check out any of her videos. I'll link the playlist above, or that side. And she gave us a bunch to split and plant. So these are wild ramps. We are covering them on our Herb of the Week this week. So if you missed that live show, I haven't actually done it yet. That's tonight, but the video will come out after the live show. But you can check out our live show. You can check out this week's Herb of the Week on the webpage. But these are all ramps. They grow in hardwood forests. They do like more wet conditions. They do seem to grow a lot around like maple trees and things around that area, especially sugar maples. So you can see from the shoots it has a long flat leaf that these will grow a lot bigger. These are still quite young. The bottoms of the ramps are red, and that's a fairly key identifying factor of ramps. And at the bottom there's this little bulb that you can eat. Now, I'm not going to eat these. I'm going to plant these. We don't have any really wet areas, but we do have some quite well mulched areas that hold moisture a little better. So we will plant them in those areas. In fact, Nabe gave us some bulbs to plant last year, and I will show you. We put them under our eaves of our house. They are shade plants. They're forest plants, so they don't need full sun, but they do need some water. And the reason why I picked this area under the eaves of the house is there's no gutter on the side of the house. All the rainwater goes straight off the edge of the house into the bed that I put them in. So these are the first ones coming up. I put them all along here. The rainwater edge is right there. Those are not ramps, but these, you can see the red at the bottom, are what I planted last year. So I have ramps along here. We do have some growing through some of the leaf mulch over here, and then down here there's some more coming through. So right along this whole edge, there may be more coming up. I haven't moved the leaves aside to check on them. We might put a few more over here. But what they will do is they will start as single plants like these. But as they grow, they do start multiplying. And you can see these actually have already doubled right here. So we're not going to pick these this year. We are going to let them multiply and start carpeting this area before we really start harvesting anything. And there is a second place where I put these on another eave line, actually at the back of our woodshed. So there's our woodshed. The sloped roof there means water runs off back behind, and there's a huge pile of leaves back there. So I haven't checked on them in a week or two. Didn't see them at that point, but that leaf pile is actually a lot thicker. So a little concerned that it might actually squander the growth if it's too thick, like it would for Gus is yelling at the rooster. I'm a little concerned that the leaves are so thick back there that it might suppress the growth. You do want the mulch there. They do grow naturally in hardwood forest, so they will have that leaf mulch. But I haven't checked on them in a couple weeks, so we should probably go check to see if anything's poking through. If not, that's actually where I'm planning on planting these new ones. So the trick is, do we see anything green poking through here? Don't yet. But you can see how wet these leaves are underneath the top layer. That leaf mulch really just holds that moisture in. So that's why I'm going to plant these here. They really like low-lying wet areas, but this leaf mulch does help keep that moisture here. Oh, look here. There's one. There's one of last year's. So they are starting to poke through. They're just having a hard time getting through all the leaves. So they're gonna get there. Awesome. Okay, I just had a thought. I go and plant all these back behind our woodshed. It's nice because it's in the shade, it has the leaf mulch, it's in the hardwood area. And as I'm digging through all this, I'm realizing there's a lot of wood scrap here. And which is great because it's basically a almost natural hugelkultur bed. I say almost natural because I think a lot of that wood scrap comes from cutting wood for the woodshed, and some of it comes from the woods behind. The leaves definitely come from the woods behind, but made me think that maybe we should put a few in the hugelkultur bed and just see how they do. Now it's in the bright sunshine, and it is a second-year hugelkultur bed. We did plant in it last year. I'd be a little more concerned planting in it first year because in the first year it's not settled enough. It's still absorbing water to do that slow release, but it is well mulched on top. So, and it would be nice to have, keep putting perennials in there so we really don't have to do much with it year to year now that it's made. If we keep putting perennials, they'll keep coming back. So I'm thinking about trying a few out in the hugelkultur bed. We already have garlic there, so in the same family, in allium family. And we have some herbs and things in there as well that come back. So why don't we go try that? And we'll just see if they do anything. If they dry out, well, I already have 2 other patches, so we'll see how it goes. Hi, Lucky. What? Yeah? You don't have a big enough runway to fly? You need a big runway. Not that you've ever tried. Okay, so we leaf mulched the hugelkultur bed this spring along with the rest of this garden. We are also planning on connecting our 2 gardens. Over here is more kind of back to Eden, at least with leaf mulch. Over there is more raised beds, including our strawberry bed. I'll show you. These are the wild strawberries that we transplanted last year in here, and they are doing well. We mulched them last fall, and they're poking up through the mulch, so I think they've pretty much taken off. They're spreading throughout this bed very easily. We might have to make a second strawberry bed if they keep multiplying like they do. But we have 3 more raised beds over here. We're thinking about shifting the run there over onto this one and using that for chicken, for the breeding group of chickens and compost. So let that bed rest a bit. But yeah, so these beds we'll use, and this whole huge area we will use. In fact, another goal this spring is to put another hugelkultur bed right here. Better to do it in the fall, but we do it when we have time. Okay, so on this bed I did throw down some, last fall threw some rotting Roma, like Amish paste tomatoes in here. See if they self-start at all. But we do have some lemon thyme growing back. And this is your standard thyme that's just starting. You can see the greener growth down under starting to come back. Some lavender here, and that'll bounce back. Some more lavender over here. And then this end of the bed is our garlic area. So we do have some poking through. I did cover it with a little more mulch, so it's harder to tell where they're poking through. But there's more coming up in here. That's the most visible area though. And lavender again. Not sure if our mint made it. This is catnip. See if that bounces back. We had some spearmint, but I don't see it. Well, we have plenty of room on here for some more perennials. Since these like wet areas more than dry areas, I'm going to put it towards the bottom of the bed. Probably on this front side, maybe near where the tomatoes, I put the tomato seeds last fall. Or rotten tomatoes, I should say, last fall. Hopefully they seed. If not, I'll put more in there. Maybe put a few right along the bottom of this bed here. So I think that experiment's done for now. We'll see how these guys do. They're planted on the west side of the bed, so hopefully they don't overheat too much. But they're at the lower end of the bed for a reason. The hugel bed tends to have more moisture at the lower end than the top end. They're very well mulched. You saw how thick that was. So I think they'll hold their moisture that way as well, and get a lot of fertilizer as that straw and those leaves start breaking down. So hopefully this will work, but if not, we have two other beds that look like they're starting to grow. So in future years, we'll have ramp harvests on our property, which would be awesome. So hope you enjoy the show. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you with our next video. And here is a nice bunch of wild spring onions. Not so wild tulips coming up. They should be blooming in the next month. There's some more spring onions.